There's a caveat because EBC is maintaining that those nominations should not take place until the names of the aspirants are indeed gazetted. So let's have a conversation in studio. Good morning, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Nice.
So I have Gabriel Muthuma and Danson, Omari, very familiar faces on News Center every Friday. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you for having
so
us.
Let's first of all look at the nomination, and we're expecting the IEBC to make a pronouncement on this, whether or not ODM should go on with these nominations. What are your thoughts, Gabriel?
Well,
How is this going to...
who listens to good counsel anymore? IEBC have said it has not gazetted the names. Nominations should not be continuing. ODM has said they are continuing with their primaries. So really, at the end of the day, who listens to good advice?
But ODM says they consulted the IEBC a while back and they agreed, and now...
You see, I told you we have an issue when it comes to the ambiguity that we have. That's the same thing we were talking here last week with the CJ. CJ was telling people, you know, party bosses, you people are very funny because you have very skewed party rules and regulations, and then you expect us to come and interpret crazy laws that you people have. You know, you went to bar, sat down and came up with funny rules, and then you bring it to my court. You expect me to interpret that? Hogwash. So really, it's. I mean, we are going back to where you have a body, an agency mandated, you know, to ensuring that our voting platform is run in essence of credibility. And yet you have a party here who is saying that even though you have said this, we are still continuing with our primaries. I mean, sense must prevail. Come on, if you are supposed to gazette your names, have the names gazetted by EBC and then move on to do your primaries. What's wrong with that? Sometimes I like complicating issues.
Okay, that's Omari. Legally speaking, where does this leave ODM?
Legally speaking, the rules are very clear that the IBC must gazette the names of the contestants. The reason being that they must be vetted, they must be cleared by the IBC that they are bona fide Kenyans, they have the relevant qualifications for them to be party members. That has not been complied. That is the law. Number two, the IBC got mixed up recently when it were, instead of gazetting party people are supposed to contest, it went into the debates about tallying centers. Right. It lost focus because that was not part of its mandate. That was a political statement. It couldn't have followed that line. Number three, you question whether ODM ever respects the law. ODM will demand everybody else to respect the law, but to them, they don't respect the law. So that doublespeak, politically, it is good because, one, they challenge the IBC and go ahead and put the IBC on, because the IBC has been forced to call a press conference today, and definitely they will be outboxed and they will succumb and say, okay, let the party nominations proceed. The ODM would have scored a political thing. So my advice to IEBC is that let it not be seen to be antagonizing the political parties. Some of the political parties might have lost the elections. Some of the political parties might be looking for a way to be relevant. So let the IEBC be very alert that whichever decision they make, the political parties will want to flex their muscles. And therefore, the IBC should be very, very alert never to be in that, because any contest, the IBC is likely to lose.
Okay, so we have a statement that has just been released by IEBC on the same. So they're saying Section 31, subsection 2C of the Election Act requires the Commission to publish the names of persons contesting in a party primary and the date of the party primary within 7 days of the receipt of the names of the party candidates. The deadline for submitting the said names was 5th April 2017. The Commission is in the process of publishing the names received from the political parties in the Gazette in accordance with the law. They go further to say parties may proceed to hold their primaries in accordance with the Commission's timelines once the candidates have been published in the Kenya Gazette. Raila Odinga insists ODM nominations will go on tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. It's a political statement. Raila Odinga is an astute politician. He knows very well that in confusion, in such issues, he succeeds. Right. He will want to depict IBC, that IBC is a Jubilee part, it supports Jubilee. So that's why I'm saying the IBC should be very careful, because the politicians want to get mileage. They want to milk mileage. The law is very clear. Let the IBC go to court and stop those primaries, and there will be chaos all over, and the end result is that the politicians will have the way. Remember, Linda, this is a country where politicians thrive on impunity. This is a country where, in that impunity, more voters get attracted to a party that has impunity. So in my own version as a lawyer, I'll advise the Kenyans that the law is very clear, the IBC has put it very clearly, but the parties are not going to follow. Where is the party, where is this lady called Ndungu, the registrar of political parties? Where are they?
Yes.
Remember the purpose of that section they have said is section what? 30,
let me see.
32 or 33?
31, subsection
31
2C. Yeah.
was to have a register of voters. Ask every Kenyan who has not been registered illegally to be belonging to a political party.
So you're throwing this back at Ndungu.
That's what I'm saying. The registrar of political parties does not exist. Remember, to date, that position is being held at acting position more than 6 years. Neither Jubilee nor NASA wants to go for that position to be filled, because they know very well, once it is filled substantively, the losers are the political parties.
True.
There is, according to me, there is nothing called a political party that exists in this country. There are commercial entities that are collecting money for the sole purpose of giving people papers
Okay.
to go.
I agree.
I'm telling you,
I agree.
a political party is an ideological party with known members.
All right, listen.
To date, there is no known member of Jubilee, nor any known member of NASA.
And I'm glad I've seen the numbers. I've seen the numbers. The amount of money they've been able to rake in.
Yeah.
JP has raked about 800 million.
It is
Okay,
serious
now that you're talking
business.
about the law and now that they're saying these commercial entities, Gabriel.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll ask you the same question you're asking on our Twitter poll question. Should IEBC stop ODM nominations?
You see, I support Danson when he says it's the law. And I told you from day one, keep repeating this and I'll repeat it again. You see, the day we removed the Hassan-led commissioners out of IEBC, through something you call a legal political bypass, I don't know who came up with that mentioning of that colloquial word.
Okay, and while you're at it, I'm hoping you can have what Raila said about the IEBC with respect to the nominations in just a few minutes. Go on.
You see, IEBC today, Linda, they've become an endangered species. Like what my good friend has said, regardless of what they'll do, they'll be seen as bending towards Jubilee. It is very wrong.
No,
Now,
but what
they've
they're saying, isn't it in the law?
You see, IBC, they've mentioned this is the law. This is what you're supposed to do. I mean, why would you even go argue about tallying results when it's stipulated
Okay, wait,
in the law?
we'll get to tallying in a
No,
bit.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting everything in the basket when it comes to the law. Really, what ODM and to an extension NASA, they are behaving like a bad boy who knows that he must to report to school, and every morning he goes to argue with the mother that do I need to go to school? Yes, you know it's Tuesday. Put on your uniform, go to class. See, this is what is happening. You have to be told this is the law. This is the law again. And IBC, you know, you need to stop playing this nonsense called catch up. The law is there. Effect the law. You don't even need to go to court. If they don't put the names on and let the chips fall where they may.
Okay,
when time comes, people find their names.
And
They're
that
not in the
brings in a
register.
very interesting point that I'd like Danson to chip in. So Danson, legally speaking, so assuming ODM insists they're having the nominations tomorrow, and IEBC says no, these names have not been gazetted. Legally, does that leave that process?
Legally, it means that none of the people masquerading to have been nominated will be legally acceptable.
Correct.
And once that is the position, then ODM says we will not participate in an election because all our candidates are not candidates. And therefore it leaves either Jubilee or Chap and other few parties to contest. And that is what Raila wants to take them to.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. If IBC was a pragmatic type of IBC, the political parties that the IBC is insisting to follow the law, they are not legal entities. They are commercial entities for the purpose simply of collecting money. So until the IBC forms and insists on parties being political parties that have a definition, a universal definition worldwide, I don't see it working. I have warned the IBC not once or twice that politicians will always look for ways to make themselves relevant.
Right.
Raila Odinga wants the IBC not to accept the party candidates. Remember yesterday he said IBC cannot micromanage. What does it mean? He is above IBC in terms of party politics. Right. But the law is very clear, and he knows very well. He has very senior lawyers there. Right. My seniors, Orengo, are there. My very many ODM luminaries
former
are
AG,
lawyers.
I'm sure.
Former AG. Can you imagine? The former AG, Amos Wako, is a member of ODM.
Yes.
So that's what we are saying, that in politics, acrimony, and any form of roadblock imagined or created is a propaganda. And IBC should move out very fast and concentrate on the BVR kits, leave the political parties to do their own stuff. But legally, IBC should be walking to court tomorrow or Monday to stop that. And you'll see the type of mayhem IBC will face.
Wow, okay, let's see how this goes, because this is not going to go away as easily as we think it will go.